Alright, now we're going to remove our back panel and lay it out so we can finish removing our cover. These panels are held in by 4 bolts, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. And these bolts have a spacer on them, or a little bushing. And what this does, it keeps the bolt from going in too far. If you lose this little bushing, your panel will go in and get stuck and it won't operate properly. You won't get the full benefit of the shirt unit. So a good tip is, I'll take a towel and lay in here, so when I'm pulling my bolt out, if my spacer does fall, it'll land in my towel and I can get it. So I'm going to remove my bolt. And as you can see, my spacer did not come out. But my spacer is in this little channel right here. And that's fine. If it stays in that channel, that's fine. But just be very careful when you're laying your panel back that you don't jar it and it happens to fall out. So we've already removed our bolt on the other side. So now we're going to lay our panel back. And that allows us access to this attachment bar right here. So we're going to remove these 2 bolts that hold our airbag down. So when we take these bolts out, that allows us that easy access to our attachment bar that holds the back of our cover down. Now my assistant Tim's going to remove them on the other side. And I will remove my screw that holds our attachment bar in. Now our cover is ready for removal. Now on the back of this cover there is a weight. There's a little metal bar that will slide into your new cover to help weight the back of it down. Be sure to not, when you throw this cover away, that you take this bolt out and don't throw it away with the old cover so you can reuse it. Now we're ready to unhook our airbag, unzip our airbag. So I'm going to open my S-hook, slide this airbag attachment off. Unzip my zipper in the back side. Remove my airbag. All right. Now taking our new airbag, reinstalling it. And one thing to be very careful of, on the back side here there are 2 airlines, very small airlines that operate your clamp here. You always want them standing up. A lot of times when you put a new cover, new airbag on, you'll want to pull these down. You'll pinch them, and then your collar clamp will not work. So be sure that your airlines are exposed to you. Go ahead and zip our bag on. Reattach our hose clamps. When you're attaching your hose clamps, I always like to make sure that this part is on the inside here so it doesn't snag any shirts. And then you have a side seam here for your airbag. You want to be sure that it does not get twisted, because if you twist it around the snorkel, you will not get proper expansion. So you slide it over the snorkel. Slide your hose clamp down and always make sure that this seam is pointing towards the outside. Now we can tighten our hose clamp. And we're good to go. Same thing over here. Putting the nut on the inside and making sure that our side seam is straight. And attach back on. We look at our underarm attachment. Bag is attached. Now, we're going to remove our rear tail clamp cover. And go ahead and reattach a new one. So we want to cut our old string. This is going to allow us to remove the old cover. What I'm going to do before I install the cover is I'm going to tie a simple slip knot in my drawstring that's going to allow me to tighten this cover down very tight. Make sure that we're hooked around the corners, that our skirting material is around each corner. And pull our drawstring, working it back and forth. And that's going to allow us to get our cover very tight. Now you have a very good fit, very nice fit, no wrinkles. We'll cut our excess string off, remove it, and then we're going to take our knot and we're going to turn it towards the inside, because sometimes that knot will want to get hung up and it won't let the tail clamp operate properly. So always turn that knot inside. Alright, now we are ready to install our cover. Again, going back over top, being sure that our air hose right here does not get pulled down, that it's always standing up. So we get a cover on, our air lines are up, set it down. Now, our weighted bar that we took out when we removed our cover, the old cover, we're going to put this back in the new cover. So it's there. Now, what I like to do, because our bar is going to come up in here and we have to go back underneath this steel pad, I like to pull a little extra material down here, make for an easier installation. With my assistant Tim's help, we're going to slide this bar inside here and up under this steel pad, like that. We're going to match up our bolt with a bolt hole. And tighten it. Now we're not going to tighten it all the way, we're just going to snug it, because we need to readjust our cover once we get our bar in place. Now we're going to pull the cover so that our seam up here is exactly on top. So now it's nice and even. It's even on top. Now we can finish tightening up our attachment bar. Alright, now we're going to reattach our airbag to the back plate.